Hi friends! In this video we're making Peg's sweater card. This one is so charming. You can emboss the panels however you'd like or use patterned paper, and the little sunflower brooch is really fun to personalize too. It lays flat to send, but it really has that cozy sweater look. Here are the shapes for my card. I have the envelope here, which I'll save until the end. Then I've got my flower parts here and the sweater panel pieces, which are here. It's going to be going something like this. Like that. Basically, this part, this little collar area, it's going to be like that. And I think it would be really cute just as is, but of course we're going to do some inking and embossing to make it even more spectacular. This is the inside of the card. It kind of adds a little more durability and a place to write or stamp, especially if your sweater is a dark color, because of course you can make this in any color scheme. So the card base is made up of these two parts. The back has a fold line here, and it gets flipped over, and then we'll glue it together up here like this. So let's go ahead and start by gluing the card base together, I suppose. And today, as usual, I'm using Scotch Quick Dry Tacky Glue. It's usually easy to find where craft supplies are sold. I like it because it's easy to find and it dries pretty quickly and clear. It's got the precision nozzle, although I feel like most glues like it are pretty similar. A lot of people have that as their favorite. Also Barely Art glue or Art Glitter glue. Those are all popular. So there is our card base. I could go ahead and glue this on the inside. It's a nice place to put a stamp too. On my original card, I stamped "Love You Pumpkin" inside. So if you want to do that, I think a lot of different sentiments would work nicely. So next, we can put this up here. It's got a nice even little border around the top and the sides. But to make it stand out more, I'm gonna grab my trusty ink pad that I like a lot. This is a Color Petal ink pad. It's set number 1004. I've been getting these on Amazon and I've been really happy with it. It's got a lot of neutral colors in it. So I'll just kind of, not even very carefully, just kind of rub it on most of the shape here. And I could be done. It looks great just like that, but I'm gonna get the sides, or the edges rather, with an even darker brown. And that just adds a really nice effect. So when you do put it on your card, it stands out a little more, especially once the whole thing is together. I will also do the same thing with this piece, especially since this patterned paper is white core, meaning the edge is white, which is fine, but I think it looks even more polished and cozy if you can continue its main color onto the edges, and then even get a little bit on the face of the edge area too. It's usually a good technique. It's something that I do with pretty much every flat panel shape like this when I'm making any kind of paper craft. So that'll be going here, that'll be going there. And once, either at the end or now, I'm also gonna do the edges of this sweater. It just makes it look a little more dimensional, realistic, cozy. It's a subtle touch, but it's a good one. So now it's looking really cute. This actually meets up on the edges here. It's got a nice little border around it. And I could start putting the rest of it together, but I'm gonna take a minute to give these panels some texture. Just like I did with this original card, they have a like plaid pattern. There's a plaid texture pattern on them, except I guess not on these and not on the bottom. So to do that, I'm going to get out my embossing machine and an embossing folder. I'll probably just use the same texture I used before, even though I really think that seriously any texture here is going to look really cool, even if it's not like a crisscross pattern like a sweater. I think just adding any texture is a really good idea. So before I emboss my shapes here, I'm going to take my little water mister. I have a mini mister, but there's probably more choices of spray bottles. Just a regular spray bottle will work too. I do like this for the size. This is a new thing I've been doing when embossing. I heard a tip that it helps if you can mist your pieces first. Just keeps the paper, well, it makes it maybe a little more like malleable and keeps it from cracking and breaking. But I have been embossing for 16 years now, and I just now started misting my shapes. So optional, it's optional. So these are some recent embossing folder textures that I've been using. This one is a diamond pattern. This one I use quite a bit. Stripes and a wood grain. But here's the plaid one that I'm going to use on my sweater. So I'll just open it up and put my two sleeves in here. So here's my folder. Here's my embossing machine. I personally use a Sizzix Big Shot. This one is an older model from what I've seen online, but from what I've heard, most embossing machines are pretty similar. So just you follow your own embossing machine's instructions, which usually just involves putting your folder between some plates, and the folders are all interchangeable. So that just adds a really nice effect that I like quite a bit. Can't go wrong with texture. So for this one, I'm gonna put this one in so that it's sticking out, because I don't want the plaid pattern on the bottom really. So I guess like that, or I mean I could get away with this. I'm gonna do that. And I think I technically have this folder flipped around. I think it was supposed to actually be like this maybe, but does it really matter? No. So there we go. crank it through. Oh yeah. So now I'm just going to do the same kind of inking that I did before. I'm just going at it. There's not really a huge specific technique, in my opinion. And I'm not even the best expert on inking, but if you want to dip your toes into the inking world, this ink pad is a good basic. I think it's got a lot of good neutrals that you can use quite a bit. So I'll link that on my website for this project. This ink pad has lasted me quite a while too. So it's nice. It's a nice effect. I used to use Colorbox Cat's Eye ink pads that were quite similar until they were discontinued. And for a while there wasn't much out there just like this. But I was happy to see these Color Petal ink pads become available, because I think they're just really convenient, useful. I know there are some other techniques using inks and brushes and daubers and stuff, which I should get more familiar with, but I've just always really liked the convenience of just like the plain old ink pad. So I will just also grab my dark brown, get a little on the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think part of the charm is that it's kind of uneven. And just like whatever. So next, since I have my ink pad out, I think I'll just do a little on the edges of the flower. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this on first. Just a few strategic dots should do the trick. And then this, we're going just like that. You can tell that this one goes here. It's not, I mean, I don't think anyone would notice if you put this one here, but you can see that this one fits a little bit better there because it's intended to go there. And the borders that are going around the shapes, there is some wiggle room there, which is nice because it makes it easier to put it together. And also, if it happens to be not like scientifically the most micrometer measured border that's super equal, I just think that adds to the charm anyway. So that's cute, but it just needs a little something. So here's my leaves. I'm gonna pinch them just a little bit and maybe kind of curl some up or whatever. And I will also pinch these. And you could certainly use some kind of a dimensional adhesive here if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna go for it. And just, you could rotate it any way that you like. There's no right or wrong way to put these two together. And then for a nice little touch, I'm gonna grab my white gel pen. This one's by Jelly Roll Sakura. There's other brands of white gel pens, but they're nice because they write, their ink is visible on a dark surface. So I'm just gonna do 3 little dots kind of offset as a cute little highlight. It does take the white gel pen a minute to dry. So I'll have to try to add that without messing it up. Can I do it? And then just anywhere, especially there, I think is cute. You could add even like a small button next to it, or a little sparkle or something. Really anything. It's gonna be cute. I suppose either side could work here. I'm gonna have my orange be the outside, and this pointy flap is the top. So I'm gonna have this be the inside of my envelope. And I'll just fold this over. And we'll just do this. And I'll just glue it where it overlaps down here. So if this white edge is bothering you, you could always use your ink pad to, oops. You could always use your ink pad to darken it in. Mine's a little rough, so I'm gonna take this sanding block that I have. I have like a crafting sanding block, but regular sandpaper is great too. just looks a little nicer. Oops. And I guess this part too. So there we have it. Cute little sweater card. Peg's sweater card. Thanks so much for crafting along with me. I'd love to see your spin on this card. Share yours if you'd like, and I'll see you again soon with another project.